Hey guys, wanted to hop on and give you just a little bit of information about today's episode. We spend the first 2/3 or so talking to Mike about his career and his family and the things that he's doing. And then around the 32, 33-minute mark, Mike gets to sharing his testimony, which is incredible. I highly recommend that you do not miss that segment for sure. If you need to fast forward to see it first, please go right ahead. I'm not worried about any of the numbers or anything. Just make sure that you don't miss that segment. It is truly amazing and inspiring what he went through that led him to where he is today. So, hope you guys enjoy this episode. We will catch you next week.
Mike Jones, one bold Christian, personal friend, family member who totes taglines as big as his personality and infectious graphic designs. By the truckload. Hugging necks and breaking bread. Does it get any better than that?
I don't think so.
We're glad to have you today, brother.
Amen.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah.
I appreciate it very much. Long time coming.
So, wow, I don't know where to begin with you. I definitely want to touch on how did you get to where you're at today in career,
Yeah.
family, and your faith and faith-wise.
Oh,
you
man.
know? And
All
I
right.
think that could cover a lot right there.
Sure.
And you got a very special testimony we'd love to twist your arm and
Yeah.
sharing with us, brother.
Well, I mean, where do I start? All right, we'll start with family. Married, 4 kids, got a grandbaby on the way.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Coming up in April. So we're stoked about that. Yeah, man. I mean, 3 of my kids are grown now, living their own lives, and I got one still at home who's a freshman in high school. So
Who'd have thought that day would come, right?
you're right, man. A lot. It's been
But now
crazy. It went by way too fast. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
So that's the family portion of it. They're amazing. They keep me going, and I love them. And yeah, this is super blessed to have that and be their dad. And I mean, your wife and my wife are cousins, right? That's how that works.
Right.
I want to make sure I got it right.
Yeah.
So that's how we know each other and be able to hang out with family and whatnot. And so that's been awesome. And then, career wise, like I've been a graphic designer for 25 years now. Wow. Yeah. That's longer than all my older kids. So, gotten to work in every kind of facet you could think of, from mom and pop to, corporate America, Fortune 500. I run my own agency. I currently work at a company called Heyo, which I love. It's owned by one of my best friends and another one of my best friends. And so I get to work for friends of mine that are dear and near to my heart, and it's remote too. So like I get the best of both worlds, and it's fantastic work, great work-life balance. And I have my teammate Lexi is amazing. So I'm wearing my podcast shirt today because I was on your show, but we also run a podcast for Heyo called Contrast. And the 3 of us, Peter, who's one of the principals there, and then myself and Lexi, who's my teammate, all are from different generations and different parts of the country. So that's why it's called Contrast, because we all have a different view on everything.
That's awesome.
Right. And it's a lot of fun because I work with her every day. She's 26, just had her first kid, and she keeps me on my toes with like all the fresh new, like, you need to learn this kind of stuff. But then I have the background of 25 years of design experience to go to her and be like, hey, let me bring you up in this area while she's bringing me. It's just a really interesting contrast for real on how we work together day to day. So career wise, that's where I'm at. I've also been blessed because of what I know how to do. I've owned professional soccer teams. I run a foundation. I run a conference in the springtime called Creative South. We own a restaurant called Frank's Alley. Just a lot of things have been blessed to do because of what the talent God gave me, if that makes any sense. And then
all too humble. You'll catch
say,
owning
testimony.
soccer teams.
I mean, they're not around anymore, but I got to do that because of my skill set, right? Like because of the talent that God gave me, it allowed me to be able to do some of these fun things that I've been able to do. And as far as I think that covers career. I mean, I don't know. You ask me specific questions if you want, but
let's dig into that before we jump into
yeah, whatever you want to talk about.
Well, I've got a question for you because you're talking about your 25 years, and I was just sitting here thinking how much I've seen things change as far as technology goes over that period of time.
Yeah.
So what has that shift been like? Because now, I mean, AI is the trend, right? Everybody can use AI, create whatever they want to.
Yeah.
So how does that fit in with what you do for a living?
Man, we get that question all the time, and there's so much mixed feelings about AI in the workplace. And oh, you're a designer, your job's gone. Am I? Is it? No, you still need me, and you still need other designers. And I'll tell you, that's not going to go away like people think it is. Yes, you can go on AI and you can do what you need to do, but there's going to come a time where original thought and something that a human can only do, it's going to flip, and the want of having something that is handmade, human made,
original
is going to be even more valuable and important. But in the meantime, we have to embrace it. If you're not embracing it, you're going to get left behind. You're just going to be in a pinch. And so I've just started incorporating it in my workflow, right? If I need something that concepting and I need 30 concepts of something that just sparks some other idea for me to go build on, I can run something quick. I can get mock-ups done quicker. I don't have to spend, 5 hours on making this little mock-up to present to a client the logo concept that I built, when I can just go, okay, run me this, and I've got the the mock-ups to do that. That's just an example. Like, I need a quick write-up for this or that I can tweak. It's about speed and efficiency, and being able to manage those well as a creative. This is where AI to me comes into play. It's not so much like replacing me as a creative, right, if that makes sense.
No, absolutely. I think teaching's the same way. Like, I fully embrace using it as a tool to make my life easier as a teacher. I don't think ChatGPT is going to get in front of my classroom and teach my kids biology.
Nope.
And it still makes tons of mistakes. But if I need, hey, a last minute lesson on this, I need to hit this standard, what can I incorporate? Sure. Then as far as, like you said, giving ideas, and then, using my talents that God's given me to expand on that and make it fit my students is awesome. And I think that's a great way to look at it, right? Use it as a tool. I mean, it's here for us to use. We don't let it completely take over your life. And it's, like you said, it's not going to replace any one of us, but can be used to make our lives easier and make us work a little bit harder sometimes.
Agreed. It also, I ain't gonna lie, it's kind of creepy. I mean, there's some creepy stuff to it where you're like, man, how in the world did it know to do that? That part kind of is just concerning, but like I said, use it as a tool.
The originality is what I like, and that takes me back to, I'm very passionate about music as well, and there's AI music now, and some of it's like, whoa, what is that? Somebody asked me to listen to something the other day, and they're like, what do you think of this? And I played it, and I'm like, hold on a minute. Like,
Paige and I were listening to Creed sing Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
I saw that video
last night.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's
wild.
So good.
So wild.
But you can, like, a lot of it you can pick, like I said, okay, vocals, I'm with that, but the background just didn't, all the little nuances with the different instruments and everything blending together. Something's going on here. And he said, it's AI, and, but just having that human touch and your thought process and what you bring to the table, speaks millions. But don't let Mike fool you. Now, he's no stranger to danger with AI. I saw something recently where you got stuck being a cat caretaker.
My wife did. I'm not a cat fan. I just put it out there. Y'all can blast me for that. I don't care. I don't like cats. Just something about them. Not for me.
Let me tell you what he likes about these cats. Tell him what you did.
I'm not a fan of it. But my wife had to cat sit my daughter's cat when they went on a cruise. And so she's over there. The cat's driving her nuts. She's doing her, what she said she would. And I said, send me, because she said the cat's name's Poppy. And it's it's like maybe not even a year old. And this cat keeps jumping into the what is the base of the Christmas tree? Like the It's like a basket thing, but
like
it looks like a basket. Yeah. And it keeps jumping in it and then like messing with the ornaments and all the ornaments are plastic because they knew the cat would mess with them. And I said, send me a picture of Poppy in the tree. And so she does, and I hop on Gemini and I'm like, destroy this tree for me with this cat. And like it you could tell it was AI because when the tree like fell over, like there was a window there where there's actually a door in the real world. And it was so funny. And I was like, no, they're on the cruise, they don't have good service. So send them this, let's send them this and just be like, your cat's going nuts.
It's legit.
She was freaking out, like, oh my God. And then she got back, she's like, that's fake. And I'm like, yeah, but it sure was fun to get a reaction out of you. Like, you know, there's fun applications for it too.
Yeah. We were just looking at the ones my wife was doing last night.
Hilarious.
You and I in the Christmas sweater from the early 90s with the mullets.
Run it. I mean, those kind of things where you get like this fun image and you know it's like, you clearly know it's fake, but like the application for that on a quick turn for any, like for design or any company, okay, you need a quick post that's silly. Just throw it up, you know, put some copy with it and call it a day. Like there's nothing that has to be like, you don't have to go shoot that image for it to be effective. And that's where I think AI comes into play with in my industry, especially, is you need something quick that just needs to go because it's just something silly, then you're good.
Mike, you got so much going on. Why don't you tell everybody where they can find you at on your socials and pages? It would be doing a disservice not to let everybody see your blessings in different creative avenues.
Sure. You can find me at Bucket826 pretty much everywhere on the internet. Instagram is where I usually post most of my work. Hugnext.com is where you can see some of the other work I do. And yeah, Frank's Alley. It might be Frank's _Alley. I can't remember, but look up Frank's Alley if you want to see about the hot dog place.
Downtown Columbus, GA. Check it out.
And then the conference website is creativesouth.com and the foundation website is creativesouth.org.
Hey, he's so humble. I want you to share with the audience a little bit about your Creative South, because that's gotten just, I mean, beyond any scope I could have ever imagined.
Me and you both.
Will you share exactly what that is and what you do with that and how it's grown, if you will, please?
For sure. So back in like 2010, I had been going to conferences for years. Like I've been going to like Adobe Max and just bigger events, and I love them. They're fantastic, but they're so big, 15, 12 to 20,000 people, whatever. It's, a lot of people there that FaceTime and like real fellowship doesn't really happen at a big place. So I came back from that last one in 2010. I hit up a buddy. I was like, hey, what if we just did something in Columbus, right? Like something we want to do. And we're like, sure. So we started a Creative South. It wasn't called that back then, but started Creative South and wanted it to be a place where people could come together for more of this, more sit down FaceTime, right? As creatives, we're always behind our machines. We're always on Zooms or whatever, conference calls. We're emailing each other and whatnot. And we need FaceTime as people, like, period. And so that got started up. So in 2011, we had our first one. We had 45 people show up to the Doubletree Hotel ballroom and had some donuts and coffee and a little bit of swag, and had 2 speakers that day. It was a half a day event. It literally 2 speakers. Yep. Wow. Half a day. And it was amazing. Like when we got done with it, I was so tired. I was like, man, this is exhausting, but man, it was awesome. We did this thing, we were like super pumped about it. And it just grew from there. Like the next year we had 4 speakers and like 65 people showed up. And then the next year we ended up getting like a couple of heavy hitters they're all heavy hitters, don't be wrong, but like, there's certain people that are considered design famous. And one of them was really, I really wanted to meet Draplin. And so I got him there, and then it went from 65 attendees to 200. And then the next year it went to 400, and the next year was 6. And then it was 8, then it was 1,200. And then
compounded,
and then we moved venues and got a bigger, and then COVID happened and we had to shut down for a couple of years, and that was what it was. And we made it through and we're blessed to be around still, and brought it back after COVID, and people still needed FaceTime. They really craved it. And we decided, hey, we need to move venues again. We're going to keep it around 500 people. And so that's where we've kept it since we came back from COVID, and this April will be our 14th year coming up.
And how many
So,
attendees do you have this year?
I'll have 500, fingers crossed, that all sell out.
He is so humble. Look,
I'm serious. I hope it does. It's
from 25 original attendees,
45
yeah. Original with 2
Don't sell him
speakers.
short.
Yeah.
To get this, to Waffle House themed sets, circus entertainment.
Yeah, that was a fun year.
And drone shows.
Yeah, I wish.
I mean, during the bridge party.
We do. We do a bridge party. I want to do a drone show, but there's nowhere to land them or take off from on the river. But I have had fireworks show that was next level.
Lasers?
Fireworks, lasers. That was fun here. Yeah, it's been wild. Like, it's been a wild run to watch Creative South go from this little tiny, this like hint of like, well, we don't know what we're doing, but we'll try it, to having, a staff of 10 that help me every year, volunteers, 50 volunteers, to, 500 attendees that are on the regular. And I've had people from 36 states and maybe 12 different countries show up to Columbus.
I mean, it's big,
been
brother.
Wild.
Kudos.
It's been wild. It's a fun ride. And because of that, the foundation came out of that. We wanted to be able to give back to students and provide scholarship money to kids that are going into our profession. So we started the Creative South Foundation that does just that. It raises money for not just people all over, like students all over that can apply for the scholarships, but also for the Columbus State program. We want to grow that program here locally a little bit, and put on more events with the funds that are raised from there. So it's been fun. Huge blessing. Some of my greatest inner circle of like what I call my inner family have come from Creative South. And like Peter, I didn't know him from Adam 12 years ago, I guess. I didn't even know who he was. And I just saw a post one day of this guy was just like, man, this looks like a lot of fun. I'm going through some stuff and I wish I could be there. And God just laid it on my heart. It's like, man, you gotta have this cat out. Like, bring him out. So I just like stalked him a little. We always laugh about this now, but I stalked him on I think it was Twitter at the time. I'm really sure now, but
slow playing.
But but basically was like, hey man, what's your full name? Hey man, what's your birthday? Hey man, what's your, we joke about, like, what's your address? And he's like, he said he went back to his wife's like, dude, this guy's asking me for all this weird information. And then I finally was like, look, dude, here's what I'm trying to do. Like, I just feel like God's telling me to bring you out to Columbus and treat you. So I'm going to cover your flight, your hotel, your ticket. I'm going to give you VIP treatment. You're going to eat dinner with all the speakers. You're going to sit. And so he reluctantly was like, all right, we're going to see if this is for real. So he comes out and all of it's for real. And I'll never forget, he pulls me aside in the hallway and I was like, hey man, I'm blown away. Like, we don't know each other. Like, you don't know me. Like, I don't know, like, and you're going to do all this. So I was like, yeah, I'm just telling you, man, like, God said, he just laid on my heart to bring you out here. And to this day, like, he is one of my best friends now. Like, his kids, I'm Uncle Mike to his kids. He's Uncle Peter to my kids. Like, and I work for the guy now. Like, he started a whole company and I was employee number 1. So it's just like this, the full circle moment of us meeting for the first time and like going through life like that, and this journey over the last 12, 15 years, whatever, to where we are now in our careers and how we're like supporting each other's livelihoods and our families know each other. And like, it's God moves like that. Like, he puts people in your life I tell people this all the time. God will put people in your life for a season, a reason, and a lifetime. Peter's in the lifetime category. I've had people in my lifetime for seasons that have been, for that one part of my life, I really needed them there. They were there, and now they're not. And that's okay. People can realize that's okay. That's going to happen. I try to let my kids know that all the time. Like, you're going to make friends that will be there for eternity. Like, you'll know them your whole life. You'll grow old together in those friendships. And then you're going to have friends where y'all did some rad things together and like life has taken you in different paths, and that's okay, And then there's always those folks that are just like, those are the seasonal folks. And then you have the lifetime folks. And then there's like, sometimes you'll just have like folks in your life for just a specific reason in passing. But they were there for that one thing. It had to happen. That meeting had to happen. And then that's it. And all those things are okay. And I think that makes life really special. And so Creative South has blessed me with all of these things together. And so to let people know what it feels like to go to it, I always tell people this. It's like if you go to your grandma's house for Sunday supper and she comes out and she hugs your neck and she prays over you, and then you eat lunch with like, 500 of your favorite cousins for 3 days. It's like that kind of vibe. A lot of hugging, a lot of fellowship, a lot of open circles. Like nobody's closing people off. Like if somebody that you don't know is coming up, people just open the circle up. Come on, yeah, come eat with me, come sit with me, come chat. And I'm big on hugs. I think a hug can change a person's day. So hugging necks, because I'm so big that I kind of envelop people around the neck. So that's why hugging necks comes from my grandparents and saying it. And then breaking bread, you can learn so much more about a person by having a meal with them, right? Like, I don't want your business card. I can go look that up for myself. Like, I'm not trying to network with you. I want to build a relationship with people. So those are the folks that I want to do life with, that I want to do, business with, that sort of thing. So that's kind of what Creative South brings to the table. And I think that's why it's so successful, is because that's the vibe that comes off of it. And anyway,
Amen.
That's part of my, story, I guess.
You know what I get to take from that, Jamie?
What's that?
A lot, but what do we talk about? Our two main points here.
Being bold and being intentional.
Being bold and being intentional. If that's not being bold and intentional, brother, I don't know what is. And that's two of our mantras, and we that's pivotal. And being spirit and faith driven,
I mean, it's not to be clear, it's not a faith-based conference.
Right.
In my profession, faith-based anything is kind of the minority, and
Right.
if you want to be honest about it, but I do open the conference in prayer, and I'm not ever going to stop doing that. Like it sometimes it's people don't care too much for it, and I've had people over the years say, you shouldn't do that. I'm like, I'm going to do it anyway. So it's my event. You run your event however you like, and I'd love for you to be here, but I'm going to keep, like, I know why I get to do what I do is because God put it in front of me. It had nothing to do with me. I had nothing, but He's provided all that from every single aspect.
I've also seen him, you invite him to church on the last day.
So yeah, on the last day we do a thing called Creative by Design that my buddy Shane came up with, and there's so much talk in the Bible about creativity, like the creation story, and then there's just a ton in there, and so he had this whole kind of sermon built out about creativity in the Bible, and how, like, if the creator of everything, the creator of creators, lives inside of you and you're creative, like, just that statement alone blows my mind a little bit, right? Like, okay, God's inside of me and He created like everything, including me, and then I'm a creative. Church graphics should be like on point, but they're not. So we got to fix that. But I say all that, like, the whole point of that particular Sunday is because there's people who are believers that go to Creative South who don't have church. They don't, because they're traveling, and it's for me to go, okay, well, let's all get on a bus and go to my church. Doesn't make any sense, because that could be a lot of headache, logistically. So it's like, well, what if we just, the venue's across the street from the hotel or somewhere in the hotel or something like that. Let's just have our own church service. We'll get a worship team, and we'll get get Shane to get up and talk about creativity in the Bible. And then maybe get a designer who's a believer to talk about their walk and like how their faith applies to their career. And that'll be our Sunday service. And dude, the first time we did that, we had 11 people show up, and it was at a coffee shop. And the last major one we did, because life changes and people can't come and like venues change, we had 175 people worshiping together that were creatives. It was unreal. And so it's just like watching that. So we're bringing that back again this year, trying to do something different with it and having, a little bit more intimate gathering, because it's hard to do that at the Trade Center, especially since there's a church that meets there on Sunday. So it's like not competing, but like they use all the spaces, so we don't really have a space. We're thinking about putting it back in the hotel this year, but we kind of Created by Design, a lot of fun. And what I love about it is he talks about creativity, like the creation story, and how, God had an idea. He made the idea. He sat on it for a second, and he was like, the idea is good. And then he moved to rest. And like what creatives in our profession do is that they'll get an idea, they'll go make the thing, they'll get here and like, let's go tweak the thing. Let's go tweak the thing some more. Oh wait, no, it's all right. Nope, let's tweak some more. Okay, it's good enough. We're gonna push it through. Oh, let's go make something else. And they skip the rest stage. I'm so guilty of that. I skip the rest stage. I don't sleep half the time. I give up sleep a lot of times to do more stuff. You got to have the rest stage. Anything you do in life, I don't care what profession you're in. Yeah. And I'm literally preaching to the choir right now. You have to get your rest.
Now,
so
can you
important.
Mike, can you let it marinate in your thoughts when you're resting a little bit? Just kind of.
You can, but also like what I love about like God's creative process is he's like, it is good. And he moved on to the next thing. It wasn't like, it's good, I'll come back to it tomorrow, see if I can make it better. No, it's like when he's like, it's good, it's done.
We'll zip through some quick questions here. Let's have fun.
Rapid fire.
Rapid fire. Worst job.
Man, I mean no disrespect to this, but it was not fun. When I was in college, I worked at Dillard's. I had to drive 25 minutes from school to the Dillard's and up in like Douglasville or wherever. And I had to be there at like 5:30 in the morning, me and one of my other fraternity brothers, and we were stock crew, and you had to like unload the truck, unload the boxes, take racks out, clean the bathrooms, clean the floors. Like, and it's honest work for sure, but man, getting up early and doing that was awful. That's probably not my favorite. Yeah.
All right. If you had a spiritual superpower, what would it be?
Spiritual superpower. Wow.
We can dial.
I'm thinking. I'm like, I mean, I think discernment's good. Does that count?
That is great. That's great. Very good.
Yeah.
Favorite Bible character?
Oh man. There's
other than Jesus,
right? Like you can't. Is
that's the default? You got to pick somebody else.
So,
Mary.
I'm gonna totally get this name wrong, but no, I don't know. Do I have a favorite one? I have to come back to that one.
I can tell you Tim's favorite character is Balaam's donkey.
Yeah. The very first mention of the guy who's in charge of like designing all the jewelry, and it's like basically
Bezalel.
So
Oholab.
He got in charge of like making the stuff. Like he's in the story where I was telling you about the when we do Created by Design, like he's part of that story, and I like just trips me out that like there's a designer in the Bible. Like I don't know if that makes sense. That's pretty cool.
Absolutely.
Do you have a go-to worship song?
Oh man, I love so many good jams right now.
Drop some on us.
I'm trying to think I'm a huge Third Day fan. Like we got tickets to the reunion thing coming up in next year. They're doing a reunion tour, and me and my wife, that was our first date. She's when we first started talking, she was just getting into Christian music, and I love Third Day, and I was like saying, hey, you want to go to the show? And she's like, well, let's look for tickets. We're online looking for tickets. And there was one second row seat left. I was like, there's a second row seat left. She's like, yeah, I saw it. Somebody bought it. I was like, no, I just bought it for you. You're going to sit on the second row. She's like, where are you going to sit? I was like, 14th row. It'll be great. And so we go on the date, and it was our first date, and we go, and she sits on the second row, and I sit on the 14th, and enjoyed the concert. And then afterwards, we had backstage passes to meet the band. I got us back there, and we were hanging out with them and meeting them. And then afterwards we went and ate at Waffle House for our first date.
Right on.
So I love Third Day. Great band.
All right. What's one thing people misunderstand about Christians or faith?
Oh, wow. I think at least nowadays they put us all, they lump some of us all into one category of like, because of what we believe or how we believe that we're all going to like be hating on you and, putting you down or condemning you for your beliefs or lifestyle. And like, here's my thing. Like, if God can love me, then I can love you. Whatever you got going on is between you and God and not me and you. So I'm just going to love on you, man. I want to hug your neck. I want to break bread with you. I don't care what you got going on. You got to sit with the sinners and love on them, because I'm the sinner too. So I want to sit with people. I don't care, from all walks of life. I just want to talk to them, love on them. And if they can see that light in me, then maybe they'll see something different in whatever they're doing and go, well, there's something different about that. Why is this Christian like super huggy and nice and loves on everybody? And he's not condemning me. He's not preaching at me. He's not like, I think that a lot of times people think that we're all just out to get like put you in your place. Well, I got no right to do that. Like if I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not my place I'm not the judge and jury. I'm not none of that. I'm just a person like you who has his own set of sins and struggles. Like, I just want, your love, you're seen, you're heard, you're like all the things, and just show kind of like, can they see Jesus' love in me? If that makes sense.
Yeah. Heck yeah. One question I didn't come up with beforehand, I was you made me think about, would be if you could sketch or create a personal illustration from the Bible that would just your style is amazing, man. What would it be?
All right, I have literally thought about this, so this is hilarious. Yeah, me and my buddies who are other believers, guys that are designers, literally sat around and talked about this one day. Like, hey, we should do this. This would be a cool series. This is because I'm big into sports, and I love, I played a bunch of sports, and I collect sports cards, and I just, sports are fun, and I love minor league baseball. I love minor league baseball for the fun that those teams have, for the brands that they get to do. Like, they don't have this like crazy style guide they have to follow. It's kind of like, let's make something fun for the fans, and everybody has a good time with it, and a cool hat and cool jersey, and like, it's just a lot of fun. And that's why I was like, what if we did a minor league baseball series of logos for teams like if minor league baseball was back when Jesus was around, what would that look like? And so the first one I was thinking about is like, okay, he's from Nazarene. Like, what if we make the Nazarene Carpenters as his baseball team? Like, that's his hometown MLB team, like, and design a whole logo package around that, and then like have hats and jerseys and stuff made for like all these different little nuggets and you could do something like it's the honey locust for like you just go through these things, right? And like you just
I love it. I would wear every
that
one
all
of them.
day, right?
Absolutely.
Like, so we're talking about like, what if we came out with a series for that and illustrated that as just a way to like, it becomes something you rock because you love the way it looks, but then also somebody's like, well, where's that team? I'm like, well, let me tell you about that team. It's Jesus' hometown. And then it's a way to like talk about your faith with some cool way to like have a dope hat.
Yeah,
you know what
absolutely.
I mean? I don't know.
Wow.
That's a great question though.
I love that.
Yeah. So fingers crossed we can make that happen.
Well, if you get, speaking of good, I do not want to let you leave. Me and Jamie will be kicking each other in the shin if we don't get you to share a little bit of your testimony with us.
Yeah, for sure.
A powerful, powerful story. And we would be honored if you'd take a little bit and share that with us.
Okay.
It goes back a few years.
It does. It goes back a lot of years actually. And I'm still growing in my faith as much as I can. Like, life changes and things get moved around, and we all have things that get us, on the day to day, we all struggle with. And so I'm constantly growing, but when I was in college, I grew up in a household that was like, my mom went to church every Sunday. My dad he didn't, and we would go with her, and my grandparents were big in their church. And like, so I grew up knowing about Jesus. I'm like, my high school girlfriend was big into it. And like, I kind of between her and my best friend in high school got me involved with like Young Life and like those kinds of things. And so I would participate in those. And there was always times where like faith was in my face, right? And it was that. And then I got to college and still believed, but like, it's college. We didn't do what we're supposed to do. So anyway, moving forward, I'm so much of this story, it's hard to even track it, but I played high school football. When I got to college, I played college football for a year, and college football is not like it's a job. Like, from 6 to 10, you're with the same people all day, every day, even in class. You eat with them, you work out with them, you practice with them, you go to class with them. And it's just like, there's got to be more to this than this or than all that. So I ended up joining a fraternity and got into that. And then football was just like, I'm burned out. I've been playing for 10 years or more, maybe more. I don't know. But I went to coach and I was like, hey man, I'm not coming back next season. I'm burned out on football, enjoyed it, but thank you. And so he's like, all right, no, appreciate you finishing the season. I was always taught, like, you start a sport, finish a sport. Like, that was just the way it was going to be. So finished it out. And then one of my fraternity brothers was a gymnast, and he was like, dude, you got to go try for cheerleading. And I'm like, yeah, no, not doing that. Sorry. And he's like, just show up for trials for me. And I'm like, fine. So I go to it. And again, different guy, but I walk in and I'm like, I can be about this. Let's try this out. So
ladies didn't have anything to do with it.
I won't, no comment. And so, but go into the thing. And like, once you can throw a human being in the air above your head, like once you do that one time and you successfully can go from ground to one hand, 1 foot, like there's something about that. It is so wild and so much fun. And like, you get hooked on it and you're like, all right. So ended up making the cheer team, going, you know, with the college. And fast forward to that summer, that was like sometime, I don't even know when the trials were, but basically we had to go to camp that summer. And so we show up early in the morning at the college. Everybody's like, you know, we're coming back from our houses all over. We have our gear and we're getting ready to go. And I had packed, this is where my mind was back in the day, but like I had my whole bag of clothes for the week. I had a 6-pack of beer and my Bible next to each other. Right. And I'm just like, you know, mixed up. And it's like 6:30 in the morning. It's just like, picture this for a second. It's 1997. It's 6:30 in the morning. It's foggy out. There's mist. It's, you know, that early morning cold snap in the air. I'm dressed in khaki shorts that are cut off, a fraternity t-shirt, a fraternity hat, and I've got these brand new like steel toe work boots on with them white socks. You know, like it's the 90s, y'all. Like, you know, I look like the 90s, and I'm trying to break these boots in, and so I had my bag threw it in the back, and I climb into one of those 14 passenger church vans. You know the ones I'm talking about? And I get in the front seat and I sit next to Coach Stephanie, and one of my teammates, DeAndre, comes up to me and he's like, hey man, like I get super car sick. Like, can you swap with me? And I said, dude, there's no way. Like I get super car sick. Like I can't do it. He's like, man, I'm talking about like, I will, if I have to sit anywhere else, I'm gonna throw up. And I said, all right, dude. So I swapped with him from the front bench seat. Like, here's the driver, here's the front bench seat. And then like behind them, or the front bucket seat behind them, you know, it's like rows of bench seats that go all the way to the back of the thing. And there's like a little bit of a
walkway.
And so the front bench seat, it was, I can't remember who was sitting next to me. It was sad, but cheerleader, me, cheerleader. So I was in between the two cheerleaders, and I'm like this, you know, my feet up on a cooler in front of me, just living at the time my best life. And we got hit the road, and I could see out the window, but I wasn't in the front. So that's what messes me up. And everybody's talking and cutting up and whatnot. And we're running behind. We have to pick up somebody in Atlanta. And we're going from Carrollton to Augusta, Georgia, where the camp is. And we pick up Keith in Atlanta. We're running behind, and it's 2 buses and a caravan. It's us, and then Paul, one of the other cheerleaders, Paul, is driving the other van full of the dance team. So we're like following each other, and we get halfway between Augusta and Atlanta, and it's, you know, we didn't stop for breakfast because we're running behind. And I just remember it's like still foggy out. I look back over my shoulder, and my buddy Chris is sitting there, and I was like, dude, she's doing 95. And he's like, yeah, I know. And we all kind of go back to sleep. But like Stephanie was doing 95 in this van, and we were like just trying to get where we need to get. And so everybody just kind of goes into like a lull of like, we're starting to sleep or whatever. And then all of a sudden, the back right tire blows out on the van at 95 miles an hour. And she's like, if this is the van, it pulls us off the road like this. Like it starts to pull us off the road. And so she overcorrects the van. And when she does, it digs in like this, and the van flips 7 times, front over back. And as it's flipping, people are getting ejected like this. So I was in the front bucket seat, as big as I am. I'm 6'3", and back then I probably weighed about 265, 275. I took that whole window out to the left from what I hear. This is what people tell me. As soon as the van started flipping, I blacked out. And then supposedly I went out the window. Other people are just getting flown everywhere. And I remember Chris, the guy I was talking to about the speed, I remember like him flipping me over, and I waking up and I see him like standing over my face. And I played sports my whole life. So like when you get hurt, like they tell you, you know, don't move, lay still, wait for somebody to come help you. And he got in my face like, Mike, you are hurt. I need you to lay here, be still, don't move. And my brain just like went into this like, okay, cool. I'm going to sit here and just chill. I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm not going to sit up. I'm not going to look. I'm not going to do nothing. I'm just going to lay up. And then I'm like, this is the weirdest dream I've ever had. This is so surreal. Like it's no noise. It's foggy everywhere. All I see is the sky. Well, I'm outside, you know, like that kind of vibe. And then all the noise starts coming back in. Little by little, the noise starts coming back in, and you start hearing screaming and sirens and people yelling and running, and you see people over the top of you and checking on you and this and talking. You don't understand anything that's going on. And then finally I get picked up, put on a stretcher, put in the ambulance, and Chris is in the ambulance with me. And still kind of out of it because they start hitting you with the morphine and the medicine and whatnot. And I remember at that one point I was like so pissed off because we didn't stop and get donuts. I was like, why? I was just in the ambulance going, we're not getting donuts. But I was like really on medication at that point, and get to the hospital and get checked in and checked out and whatever, and go to sleep. And then I get woken up about time at this point is, I don't know what day it is, what time it is, none of it. But I know my mom is there, and because she's sitting in like a nurse comes in and is like, hey, I need to check your dressing on your back. And I was like, okay. And so she flips me on my side. And let me preface this, like I got ejected from the van. I broke my back in 3 places, dislocated my neck. I had glass in my back. My entire backside was scraped off. My 85% of my body was road rash from my face, like my hip down to my calf was scraped off. I cut my knee down to the bone on my left leg. You can barely see them now. My knuckles were scraped off. This part of my hand was tore off. I had a cut right here. And just to be clear, that's not where I wear a beard. I just like a beard, right? But I was banged up. I had 6 stitches in my head. Broke my thumb. I was pretty banged up, and I was one of the light injuries. Like my injuries were light compared to like Chris, who was awake for the whole thing, running around helping people, and literally had his entire shoulder was tore off, like nasty. Our buddy Chad, who owns a restaurant up in Carrollton, he got cut from his belly button all the way around to like almost his spine. Like he has this, it looks like he got bit by a shark. The scar is so bad. But also, I'm in there, and the lady's like, hey, I need to check your dressing on your back. And so she flips me on my side, and you could just hear it in her voice. And she's like, oh no. And I'm like, what's happening? You know, I'm coherent enough to know something's wrong. And she's like, the gauze has dried to you, but I have to remove it and start pulling glass out of your back. This is not going to be pleasant at all. Like, it's just, there's nothing I can give you that I haven't already given you, but it's next level. It's about to happen. And I'm sorry. And my mom is sitting in the corner looking at me, and this lady's taking saline real cold, and she's squirting it on it and ripping and pulling glass and ripping and pulling glass. And I am screaming bloody murder at my mom to make her stop. And it was just like the most excruciating pain I ever have. A really high tolerance for pain right now, but because I'm in pain daily, because I like every day I'm in some kind of pain. But like right now, my neck's on fire. But it is what it is. You learn to live with it. My mom's crying in the chair, and I'll never forget. She's like, "I can't make her stop, honey. I'm so sorry." And every time I'm on stage and I'm telling the story, my mom's there, like I lose my mind. Like we both cry at each other. But you fast forward a little bit, I get checked. All my stuff I start the healing process, and I'm in, all the things. But while I was in the hospital for 8 days. And while I'm there, I want to know about the people in the accident. Like, what happened to my friends? And so they were like reluctant to tell me, but basically my mom and dad are in there, and they're like, okay, well, here's the update on all the people. And I was getting like lists of injuries and where people were and what hospitals they were at, because they kind of had to spread us out in the area. And I was in all that before I came to the hospital back down here. And Stephanie passed away, the driver, on site. A freshman in the very back of the van, who was Chad's best friend from high school, Mike, he died. And DeAndre, who I swapped seats with that day, passed away. And sorry.
Take your time.
And earlier that day, DeAndre, if you had met him, this would make more sense, but without all the details, like he raised his hand in the middle of that ride that morning when we all got on the bus, and was like, the most random thing comes out of this guy's mouth, because he was he's such a good dude, but he just said, who here believes in God? Who's saved on this bus? And for that to come out of him was not something he would normally say. And so people was raising their hands or whatever. And then he's gone. Just like that.
He was bold and intentional right there in that moment. That's probably.
And I look back on it and go, well, why him and not me? And I could dwell on that forever. And I could have gone into a really dark place of letting all the survivor guilt get me. Or I could have taken it into a place of, God's not done with me yet. And then I look at everything I've been able to do because of that, and God kept me here, and the things I've been able to do, and family, and bringing people together, and praying for people on stage, and just serving my church, and like just all the things. And I'm not perfect. I'm a sinner just like anybody else. I got garbage that just I deal with all the time, but we all do. But I mean, that day it was wild, because then all the other little stories come in. Like I kept wanting to know, like I didn't care about nothing else. It's like, where's my Bible? Where's my Bible? And they found it, and it was literally like, it wasn't not damaged because it went through. But if you saw everything that was with that van, it was destruction, like total destruction. And my Bible had like it got a little bit wet from the beer, and some of the pink on the inside kind of faded some stuff, and had a few scratches, but that was it. The word was still intact and readable and legible and usable. And it just got me thinking about, like, I'm still here for a reason. And that's where I kind of turned the turning point for me of like, all right, like I have to live this intentionally. And I fail all the time, but I'm trying. And also come to find out that, so DeAndre made it back to the hospital, and his parents were trying to get, like, some lady had called his parents and were like, hey, I'm with your son. He was in a bad accident. He's not going to make it. You need to get down here and see him. And so they get to the hospital. He had passed, and the mom was like, hey, I want to thank that lady for sitting with my son. I want to make sure she knows how much I appreciated her being here. And everybody at the hospital, man, like nobody's been sitting with your son. No, we haven't seen any lady, and we don't know what you're talking about. Nobody called you. 100% believe it was an angel sat with him. And that just gets me every time. But Yeah, man, I tell you, it's part of my life story. It's made me who I am. I'm super thankful to still be around doing stuff. And when I'm telling people this talk, like, you don't know what the next 10 minutes will be for you. And so I told this to the kids when I was telling the story, like last time we were hanging out, Tim, is that you got to be willing to mix up your comfort zone, get out of a seat you're not really comfortable being in and sit somewhere else, because you don't know, if you do that, you don't know what God is going to do with your life moving forward. Right. Like that could have been me staying in the front seat and putting DeAndre in my place, and it could have been reversed. But God had a different plan. So I'm saying, get out of your comfort zone, go sit in a different seat you're not usually in, and see what he does, see how he uses you. And I think that's the takeaway. And, like I said, every single day I'm finding different ways to break free of everything and be closer to God. And it's just, I'm super thankful to still be around. So yeah, that's the story.
Amen. That's righteous right there.
We wanted to finish the season to honor the folks we lost. And so we got a new coach, Coach Sherry, amazing lady. We ended up deciding, once we got healed up, we wanted to compete nationally, which West Georgia hadn't done in forever. And we ended up taking 5th that year, that we all came back. And the next year we took 3rd in the nation. And the year that I graduated, figures, they won their first national title, and they have won 27 or 28 national titles since then. It's one of the best. It's one of the best programs in the country. And when you go in the locker room, they built a new stadium and there's a whole new facilities, whatever. When you go in the locker room, all the trophies from all the national titles are lined up on top of the trophy case, for this huge trophy case. And it goes 5th place, 3rd place, and then all the national titles after that. And every single freshman that comes into that team gets told our story. It's a part of that program and its history and how it got built. And it's wild to me that they honor that. And so, very cool. I was grateful to do it, and went back for our 20-year reunion of the accident. And they did a whole on-field thing during halftime and honored all of us and did this big dinner and whatnot. And then the next day we got to go practice with the team if we wanted to. And dude, yeah, I'm going to throw some people in there. Let's go. Hadn't done it in 20 years and didn't miss a beat. It was awesome. Had so much fun.
Could you still?
Yeah. You want to see the video?
Yeah.
I want to see you throw Tim up in there.
I mean, that's been going through my mind since the first time.
Let's be realistic. All right. I'm not that strong. No offense to you, brother. It was a lot of fun. And what I love about it is, I had so many different groups, fraternity, art group, because I'm, my profession, and then the cheer family. And it's I'm still friends with all of these groups to this day. And those folks are super special to me. We check on each other every year on the anniversary date. Everybody kind of chimes in and says, "Hey, what's up? How are y'all doing? We need to get up soon. What's up with," people checking on their families and whatnot. And I love them. They're family to me, even though I only see them very, very rarely.
And what an amazing testimony. Just the way you kind of set it up about, you knew who God was and he was there in your life, but you didn't really have that relationship. And then to go through all of this and now, I don't know you as well as Tim does, obviously, but to see you afterwards, I got to meet you when you came to speak to our FCA kids.
Yeah.
And you shared some of that testimony with them. And I was into the story, but I was also watching their faces, and you could see kind of the light come on in a few of them, whoa, what would that be like? And trying to imagine. And it's hard. I think about Dad last month. I lost my dad the day after Thanksgiving, and it was out of nowhere. Like you said, we were cruising along. Life was good. He was, a grandfather to my daughter, and we had such an awesome relationship. And then all of a sudden it's completely changed. And what do you do from that? And, Tim and I talked about it. One of my goals was to use that grief to share with other people that are going through things.
Yeah.
And to hear you do that same thing from such a tragic story. I couldn't believe it the first time I heard it, and watch you, get up in front of students and everyone else and share, the hard part to show them what it's, what's life really like, because it would be so easy for you to say, man, I've got all this great stuff. I'm doing amazing. God's awesome in my life. Everything's wonderful.
Yeah.
But, none of that kind of carries any weight if it's not, a part of the entire story. So, man, just thank you so much for opening up and sharing that. That was awesome.
Yeah, man. Glad to do it. Glad to be here with you guys, chatting through it. And it's gotten easier over time, but there's some parts of it that still hit home pretty heavy for me. And, I want to keep bringing people together. I want to keep, like, I don't know, hugging necks and breaking bread. And, like I said, I've got a lot of work to do myself still, and, making strides in that. So I'm super thankful God gives me these opportunities to say stuff, and just want him to use me for whatever and serve as much as I can, and hope that some kind of light gets shown to other people through what I'm doing and what I'm saying. And we're all going to trip up, and we're also all can be lights to other people too. So,
Amen.
If you're listening, show Mike some love and appreciation. Follow his pages. Go check out Frank's Alley downtown Columbus. I know Jamie and I are looking forward to eating lunch there today. So breaking some bread and hugging some necks.
Yes.
So thanks, Mike.
Yeah, dude.
And if you don't mind, would you close us out of here?
Yeah, for sure. Father God, thank you for this day. Thank you for this opportunity to come on this podcast and just share my story and chat with these awesome fellows. I just ask that you lift this podcast up, use it for your will, your glory. Protect all of our families, Lord, as they're out doing whatever they're doing today. Keep them safe. Protect our households. Forgive us for our sins, Lord. We all have going through struggles that are unspoken, and we just want you to be there and listen and hear us. And Father, just let us have a safe day today. And thank you again for this opportunity. In Jesus' name I pray, amen.
Amen.